All right, welcome everyone, and welcome to another episode of Social with Sarah. Today I have Paty, who is a brand photographer, and she has a lot more to offer too. So, Paty, go ahead and tell us about your business.
Hi, Sarah. Thank you so much for inviting me. It's such an honor.
Yeah.
So, guys, I'm Paty Duet, and I own Paty Araujo Photography. And I do weddings, quinceañeras, and portraits, but I also do personal branding for female entrepreneurs. So I help female creatives up level their social media game and their website game by curating and creating a collection of images that will send out of everyone. So those images will represent who they truly are and what their business is all about. So yeah, I've been doing this for right. So I've been doing this for about a year or so with the personal branding. And I've been doing the quinceañera and the other events for about 3 years or so. So, oh, no.
Oh, that reminds me, I probably didn't turn off my, oh yeah, I didn't. So,
right.
It's a good reminder for everybody. We need to turn off our phones. I just did mine too. Well,
I just want silent.
Yeah, silent. I just did mine too, so no problem.
Oh, sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that.
It happens. I was just gonna point out your Instagram account because, oh my God, it's so beautiful. I mean, photographers, they always do that, but I just really love yours. It's so bright, and then colorful too. But I just love the way you take your photos. So very unique. So if you're a female entrepreneur, definitely look at her Instagram account. I believe it's Paty Araujo. How do you say it? Photography?
Paty Araujo Photography. Yes, all together.
Photography. Yes, go look up that Instagram account because you can definitely see all of her talents and what she does there in her Instagram account. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. But today I wanted to ask just entrepreneurs, business owners, there's so much changing with coronavirus. So we just wanted to go over like how you're doing, have honest conversations. So my voice is cracking now. Let me know, how are you doing in your business? Like, I know you do events and then you do branding photography. So you do have some options, but how is your business doing?
Yes. So on the event side, obviously, it's all on quarantine, literally.
Yeah.
We had to postpone some events. But thankfully, my clients are so understanding, and I also am very flexible as well with the dates. So we were able to postpone them to a different date later on in the fall and winter. But thankfully, like I said, nobody has canceled. So I've been able to work with my clients with that situation. With the personal branding, I also have been, the past few weeks has been more stricter, so yeah. I was able to do my last personal branding about 3 weeks ago, I would say. So I was still taking my precautions, 6 feet away apart from each other, but it was only one person, so it's easier for me to do personal branding sessions and having to do a whole wedding, right?
Oh yeah.
So yeah. And both are doing great overall. I'm able to talk to my clients more often, create more content. It's just like a downtime for me to kind of, how can I explain it? I kind of like touch base with myself again. Life was just so busy before, and meetings and this and that. And now I'm able to kind of reconnect with myself and be able to let my creativity explode a little bit more and explore. So I'm writing, like I said, I'm writing more content. I am coming up with more ideas, things that I really didn't think of before, which I guess I should have, but I was just so busy that my mind was just so, thinking about other things. But yeah.
All of us are like that.
Yes. So it's been really good. It's been really good for sure.
Yeah, that's good. And I know we were talking before, so even on your event side, I love that you said your events have been postponed, but of course not canceled, hopefully, and hopefully nobody canceled, because we all want to get back together. There's going to be so many weddings, and quinceañeras later in the fall, in the winter, and of course next year. But so everything could be postponed, and that
Yes.
then you could look for opportunities to be a photographer or come in last minute because their photographer was already booked for that weekend in the fall or something. So there's that
Yes.
overlay of opportunities that you can see it in that light and be positive, be like, well, other people are postponing too, so they might need me, they might need my services. And I love
Yes,
that.
that's totally true. I am right now running a discount, actually, a $600
Yeah.
off of every couple or quinceañera who had to postpone their event because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
And now they have no photographer because their photographer is booked for, the
Yeah.
day that they chose to reschedule it. So
Yeah.
I am offering that. I know the hard decisions,
Yeah.
those are really hard decisions, especially when you've been planning this event for years. So I was able to do that and give back to my community like that. So
yeah, I love that. And I love that you're offering that special, a lot of businesses are too. So that's great. You're still helping people. And even in the personal
yes.
branding or working with photographers, like this is the time to plan too. So personal branding, it's like get on Patty's schedule for July, get on her schedule for September.
Yes.
Like all these things that we get to look at now, like we can just plan for and book with you, So I love that. I mean, everything's, yeah, your business is still essential, even if it's not essential and you could be open and out there, right?
Yes, that's totally true. That's totally true.
But yeah, I think you were going to get into a couple of the things because my second question is kind of like, how have you had to transition your business or innovate or create? I know you talked a little bit about your creativity coming out during this time. So what if you had to like shift in your business?
So first, definitely I had to change my hours.
Yeah.
I do have 2 kids, so I'm a mom, and they are a little crazy. So I used to work in the mornings, mostly in the mornings when they were away at school. But
Yeah.
now, since they're here and we still have to do some schoolwork, I had to move my hours. So now I mainly work in the afternoon. So that's one of the things that I definitely had to change about
Oh yeah.
one of the first things that I had to change of my business. And now I'm also able to explore a little bit more of the virtual side of my business.
Mm-hmm.
I love being personal. So it's all about personal branding. It's just, but I just love to see people in person, talk to them in person. So I miss that, but I just couldn't stay away from my clients. So I am not offering some virtual stuff. So I am offering Instagram audits, one-on-one Instagram audits, where we'll together look at your Instagram and see what you need to change, see what you need to modify. Is your bio, could your bio be better? Is your profile picture, good enough? Is it not professional? Right. But I can help you take a quick picture on your phone with a few tips that could make an image worthy. Could not replace a professional picture, but for now, it could definitely do it. So like things like that, and I do actually offer these Instagram audits to my clients, my regular clients with my personal branding collections. So like I said, my creativity has just been like, I've been thinking of ideas like, what can I do? What can I do to help other female entrepreneurs? And this came out. I was like, well, I can just offer an Instagram audit on a video call. Yeah. And I mean, now technology is so amazing. Like we can even share a screen. So I can, it's just so much easier than it was like 5 years ago. Yeah. So I'm glad that I'm glad that the pandemic happened now, where our technology is definitely, up there. Yeah. Rather than 5-10 years ago when we were like, okay, we're gonna do now, Yeah. So it's been definitely evolving into more of the virtual side of the business, which I really never thought it would. And now I am going to continue doing that. Why not? I mean, when everything comes back to normal, I think it's a good way. I mean, it's still a good way to reach out to other audiences, virtually, especially audiences that don't live in San Antonio. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm really excited about this. So I'm looking forward to help other female boss babes
And all over the world, because I know you have some clients in Mexico too. I mean,
Yes.
everything we do is, it could be virtual. We can work with clients all over. And that's what it's really opened my eyes up. I used to go to a lot of networking events in person because I do, like you, I want to meet the people in person. But I realized, you know, I have some other partnerships that I'm like, oh yeah, I'm talking to somebody in LA and New York. I'm like, it's just like talking to somebody in San Antonio right now because I can't see either of them. We have to do this call on a video call, you know. So, and I love the technology because that, I think, like you said, it's not, it's definitely more advanced than even 5 years ago. So I'm thankful that people that are listening to the audio version of this, it's going to be on a podcast. And I didn't see that 5 years ago or 3 years ago on Zoom.
Exactly.
And now I do. Now on Zoom, I can, you know, during this pandemic time, I started a podcast, and you can do the audio version, you could do the video version, and put it out there in social media in all these different ways that people consume content. And I remember about 3 years ago when I first logged in and started my podcast, the technology wasn't quite there to do it quickly. And now I'm doing everything so quickly and easy. And of course I have more time, a little more downtime. So that's a great point to bring out. The technology has really changed. And I love that you offer the Instagram audits because people need that. And this is what they're looking at right now is, let me take a step back, look at my business, look at my brand. And even if it's a personal brand, and let me see how people perceive me, right? What do they think when they come to my Instagram? That's what Paty is offering right now virtually, to go over your Instagram account together. And since she's a photographer, you have that eye for what people need to see, right?
It is almost like a curse, to be honest. I mean, it's just crazy. You know, the way that from 3 years ago, because I started my business 3 years ago, so to now is just such a difference. Like when I'm scrolling, like, oh, look at this. Oh, I can see that. And I mean, to the naked eye, you really can't. But because I'm a photographer, it's such a curse. I tell my husband all the time, it's like, oh my God, like I have the eye of an eagle sometimes. Like, oh, I can see that little bit of thing over there. Like it's bothering me.
Something that bothers you. That's what I was going to say.
Yes,
yeah, they bother you.
Yes. Yes. It's annoying at times, but it's a blessing because that means that I catch little things that you know, others may not. So it's same thing with photography, you know, with sessions, I catch little things like, oh wait, I didn't even see that. Oh yeah, let's take this away. Or, you know, like just little things that make the difference for sure.
Oh yeah, it does make a difference. That's why you're in business too, because you're the expert and you need to take out those little details that others don't see, but it makes a huge difference. And so the last question I kind of wanted to ask is just, what other advice or tips do you have for business owners during this time?
So, and this goes a little bit, you know, it's kind of controversial because I've seen other posts on Facebook and stuff. So, and I do want to start like this because, like I said, it's kind of controversial. It really depends on each person's personality, you know, who you are. Me personally, I am not a downtime person anymore. I used to be. Now I just see, like, if I have a downtime, which I do sometimes, I'm not saying that I don't, that I you know, I need to work. Like I need to create, I need to do. I can't just sit down and not do anything. Like literally, if I'm watching a Netflix series, it only has to be like 1 or 2 because it's itching in my ear. It's like, are you working yet? Oh, look, I have this idea right here. And it's just my brain kind of constantly going. So I would definitely suggest, if you have a little bit of downtime, and whether, like I said, you know, it's really up to you. What are you doing? Like, what are you doing to evolve as a business? Are you educating yourself? Are you listening to business podcasts or marketing podcasts? Or are you finishing up that online course that you bought 2 years ago that you weren't able to finish because you're so busy? So what are you doing in your downtime? You know, are you reading? I'm reading. I'm not a reader. I do have to say that I'm not a reader, but I've been pushing myself a little bit more now to read. And I'm actually reading a pretty good book. I don't know if you read it before. It's called Building a Story Brand by Donna Miller.
Sounds good.
So good. So that's what I'm pushing myself a little bit out of my comfort zone. to do more things. You know, how am I going
Right.
to evolve as a business? Because after all this is done, after everything is lifted and we go back to normality, people are going to just explode. Like,
Mm-hmm.
if you are continuously on social media, so that's another thing, another tip that I can give
Yeah.
you is that don't completely disappear from social media. It
Mm-hmm.
is okay if you want to take a week off. That's fine. You
Yeah.
know, everybody needs that downtime, but don't completely disappear for months. People will forget your brand if they
Yeah.
do not see your face, if they do not see your posts, you know, your stories, whatever it is, they will forget. So don't just disappear. Make sure that you're constant, even if it's sharing something that you're doing. Oh, I'm cooking. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. I'm cooking this recipe today, guys. But
Yeah.
it's your face, it's your voice.
Yeah.
People already know. They connect with that. Oh, I know that's Sarah's voice. Oh, I know that's Patty's
Mm-hmm.
voice. You know, they already know. So that's one of the things. When everything is lifted and whenever we go back to normal, it's gonna be such a rush. Like, people are gonna be busy, you know, hopefully they're gonna be busy, but at the end it's gonna be who was able to stay in contact with their
With
audience.
their, yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
because if not, then you're gonna have to start over.
Mm-hmm.
Realistically, you have to start over. All that hard work that you put for years can be gone in a span of 4, 3,
Mm-hmm.
4, whatever, you know, how many months we have to, or are we in this situation. So just make sure that you stay on there. You
Mm-hmm.
don't have to be on top of it. You can even, you know, you don't even have to show your face every day. Just kind of
Oh
be
yeah.
steady, you know, for 3 times a week,
Yeah.
just enough so your audience knows that you're still there. So that's definitely my advice for other
Yeah.
businesses and entrepreneurs for sure. So
We're preaching the same thing, I swear. Because I'm like, it's give yourself grace and give yourself grace. Don't be too hard on yourself. But what are you doing? Like being a little proactive during your time. And I'm kind of like you, so I know some people don't agree with that. When there's so much downtime, I'm not going to be the one on the couch for 8 hours watching TV. That's just not me. I also, I actually, even growing personally, I like to read um, a book. And usually now I've been reading outside with my dog, and it's beautiful
oh,
out. Just being like, just
nice.
being in nature is nice.
Yeah,
But I know that
yeah.
the content I'm reading is to help me too. So I'm growing in that, but also just working on other projects, like we said, like having downtime, but then also working on the business and working on my personal brand, you know? So
Yes. And one thing that I do, I would love to add is that, like you said, give yourself grace, you know? That's okay.
yeah.
Give yourself grace and make sure, I mean, even though you have a little bit more time to spare, it's not just all about work, 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 work. Your
Mm-hmm.
body, your mind needs, you know, that self-care.
To
Do
keep
what you
growing.
still do
Yeah.
what you, yes, still love what you do to do, you know, what you love to do. And just recently it happened. I hadn't touched my piano for months, like
Oh yeah.
months.
Yeah.
And I keep walking, you know, I keep walking past it. And literally, I was like, you know what? I just need to play my piano. And by the way, I'm not like the most expert. I'm the beginner, so, but still.
Yeah.
But it gives,
Yeah.
I love it. You know, I love the music. I've always been very musical, very lyrical.
Yeah.
Like, you know, the music really speaks to me. So right after I did that, and I did it for like a whole day, like I was just like playing and, you know, like literally I came up with the virtual stuff the next day. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay. So like that, you know,
The
that real
creative
makes me
energy or
realize,
something.
yes,
Yeah.
it
That's
just
so cool.
your brain relaxes and it's capable of building
Yeah.
up again. Um,
I love
so yeah,
that.
like you said, just give yourself grace. You know, do what you love to do still.
Yeah.
It's not just about work, 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 work. So
Yeah. Well, great advice, great tips for everyone on here. And then where can they find more about you? We talked a little bit about your Instagram account, but anywhere else?
yes, yes. So I have a website as well. It's www.patyaraujo, so ARAUJO photography.com. I also have a Pinterest account as well. Same hashtag, handle
Okay.
at Paty Araujo Photography. You can find me on Facebook as well or on Instagram. But that's where you can actually find me. So guys, if you are able to go to the website, pretty soon it will have a coming soon page, which is actually pretty excited for me because I'm rebranding. I'm about to rebrand. So if you see that, just know that it's coming up.
It's coming.
And yeah, it's coming. It's coming. And just visit me on my Instagram, which that's where I'm mostly at, and or Facebook as well. So
okay.
Yeah,
well, thank you so much for coming on and all your tips. And yeah, so I'll be interviewing more entrepreneurs on everyday life and what's honestly going on in their business. So, and thank you for listening to this episode, and we'll see you next time.